What is up? Happy Tuesday! Welcome to Chirping on Causeway. I am Emily.
I'm Liv.
And we're here.
We're back again.
Y'all, today's been rough. I'm not even gonna start this without setting the tone that today's rough, I think.
Yep.
At least for me.
It's a Monday feeling Tuesday, kind of.
Yes. Quick recap of the last few days.
Yes.
We've had 4 games since our last podcast episode. We've only won one of them. Liv and I met up super quick on Saturday after the game because I was in town. Yep. And we lost that game. We lost last night. We knew that there wasn't going to be practice today. Today was not a scheduled practice today, but they announced weirdly last night that there would be media availability after tomorrow's practice, which media availability after practice tomorrow isn't weird. It's just weird that they announced it to the media public teams that there was specifically going to be media tomorrow. And then earlier this morning, somebody half leaked a rumor, not half leaked, I think they said it on their podcast. Yeah. That it was potentially a day where Monty was getting fired. And then lo and behold, Monty gets fired. Yeah. I feel like we've had a really weird week in Bruins land.
In Bruins land.
Cherry on top.
Yep.
I personally was not expecting Monty to get fired right now. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, but I think, here we are.
Yeah. I was saying to Emily earlier, I thought he was going to make it until at least Thanksgiving. I kind of thought there was going to be I don't want to call it a grace period because I don't necessarily agree with the whole firing Monty because I don't think he was our number one issue with whatever the heck is going on in Bruins land right now. But it was, kind of caught me off. I mean, it caught me off guard, but it didn't at the same time. I think we all kind of had a feeling we were going down this road, kind of, but the timing and the day kind of threw me for a little loop. Yeah.
Well, and I think you and I said this last week too of I don't fully blame Monty for everything that's going on. Yeah. I think the issues are above him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I think the issues are also below him. I think you have a bunch of players that are not connecting. And I think you have a GM that is making moves that don't make sense. Because let's just talk about it. Bringing y'all, also, side note, I'm terrible at these names. I will promise you, never will I pronounce names right. I will do my very best. But bringing VL up from Providence was a waste. That was an absolute waste. And that's not on Monty. He has said a few times in the last few weeks to media, I don't make these decisions. These decisions are made by Sweeney. Mm-hmm. He talks to coaches and trainers and whatever and makes the decision. But at the end of the day, it's not my decision. It's his decision on who moves up and down. So why are we blaming Monty?
Right. And, now that you say that, I almost do wonder if maybe, because I mean, if people follow me on Twitter, they know I'm not the biggest Don Sweeney fan. So I can just openly say, I wonder if Don was kind of not embarrassed, because I don't think that man can get embarrassed, but maybe Monty was saying what he was saying to the media to kind of be hey, you guys are picking on the wrong guy. And I think maybe Don was oh, well, now that he did that, let me just cut the tie. Yeah. So I wonder, obviously we'll never know, but I almost wonder if there was a little interior kind of what do they call those? A riff or something. Yeah. A little,
Yeah. And so this was reported earlier. Jason Gregor reported this. A few people reported this. This is just where I saw it today. But overall, in the Bruins Monty era, 120 wins, 41 losses, 20 losses in overtime. this season, if you're not keeping up for some reason, 8 wins, 9 losses, 3 OT losses. It just feels weird.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm emotional. I'm not gonna lie. And also feel free to let us know if you think we're wrong.
Right.
Let us know if you think that this is time enough. But like, nothing's going to change. We're promoting our associate head coach to now an interim head coach who's been with the team for, this is his 11th season.
Yeah.
And it's not going to change the problems that the players are having with each other to have this man who's been following this system, who has not been producing productive penalty plays, which he's in charge of.
Yeah.
It's not going to change anything. And we posted a tweet earlier that we did a poll on if you think it's about time that Monty left or if we should have kept him. And we're like, it's split, guys. 52% about damn time, 47% said should have kept him. So maybe you all are also feeling a little mixed here with us.
Little bag of mixed feelings going on here.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about our new interim head coach.
Yes, let's.
So Joe, again, feel free to correct me on these pronunciations, y'all, because I ain't it.
Yeah.
Joe Sacco has been with the Bruins for 11 seasons now. So he's been the assistant coach 2014 through this summer. This summer got promoted to associate head coach. He's in charge of our power plays. He's previously been a head coach with the Avalanche from 2009 to 2013. He was fired because they missed the playoffs each year that he was a coach with them. His record was 130, 134, 40 with Avalanche. He was the assistant coach 2013, 2014 with the Sabres, and then took the job with us. Yep. He's from Massachusetts, went to Boston University, was in the NHL for 13 years. So he's been around a while. He's been around Boston Bruins hockey a while. This is his third head coach, I think, that he's been on the Bruins with. So I think that I think is a positive. He understands Boston hockey, because I feel like we hear all the time that Boston hockey is just different. But I also don't know that it's going to make a difference, Liv.
I know. And part of me, because part of me just wants to hope we can only go up from here. I want to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that maybe he'll feel like he has maybe some more freedom where he can, not saying he couldn't have spoken up before, but maybe he'll just feel like, okay, well, now I'm in the head coach position, so I can fully just full send some things that I had ideas of, or maybe he sees different possible lines together, or because I'm actually, speaking of lines, I'm very curious to see how he goes with lines, what that's going to look like, and who he'll healthy scratch at times. I'm wondering,
is Patsy coming back up?
That's again,
I know that he doesn't have any say in this. I know that this is a Sweeney thing, but I just we'll get to that discussion here in a second about players, but
there's a lot.
I guess I should reserve some of my judgment for after tomorrow. Not tomorrow, we're off tomorrow too. Thursday. I'm nervy. I'm a little nervy.
But even tomorrow though, you're right about that, because practice. I'm curious to hear what practice will look like, and what, I don't know, I know he was on the power play, making it and stuff like that, but so that's actually a question I have. Yeah. So will someone else take over that now? Will someone else, or will he just do both? That I don't know.
That's a great question.
I
don't know how that works either.
So if someone wants to
I
let us
wasn't like, yeah. Last time we had a coach change, I was not really like, listen, I've been a Bruins fan my entire life,
Mhm.
but I ran a business for a few years, and that was during that there's like 3 years of my life that are missing from when I ran a business, and those
Yeah.
are some of the years that are missing. So I don't remember a lot of like the last coach transition to Monty. So I
Yeah.
will be interested to see what kind of happens with like power dynamics between
Mhm.
the rest of the staff. But that if somebody knows, feel free to drop that in.
Yeah.
I think the one benefit of having him step up as head coach as well, maybe not one benefit, I think there's a lot, but in addition to like knowing Boston hockey, is he knows these players.
Yes.
Like,
yep.
he's already been around, and maybe like you're right, Meg, maybe with this he'll have some confidence.
Yeah, that's a good word.
To be like, okay, I see that this is not working.
Right.
Here's my recommendation, that maybe he couldn't do that before. But like also he was the associate head coach instead of just an assistant coach. So you would think like maybe he did.
Right. I'm
I don't
very
know.
curious to see how everything is gonna go here.
Well, and I think it's all like the other thing to keep in mind over the next few weeks is it's all not on him, right? Like
Exactly.
either way, positive or negative, changing the coach isn't going to be the thing that changes the Bruins, right?
Yeah.
Like they're either going to keep sucking or potentially they get their butts in gear, not necessarily because we have a new coach, but because they're sick of losing. Like
Right.
the last few games have been brutal. These scores, losing to Dallas 7-2,
That's tough.
losing last night 5-1,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and we said it last week, and I'm gonna say it right now.
I'm
Who
glad
was in net both
Yep.
of those times?
You know, and I'll touch on that, and I think we did touch on it last week too, how, you know, Sway is a very competitive guy. He'll
Yes.
say it, like, he's not afraid to shy away from that fact. So I was saying it earlier to like someone on Twitter. I was like, maybe go back to the tandem,
The
even if
rotation.
that sounds like insane to some people. Like, I get it. You can roast me, flame me, whatever. But I think if we get a little like back and forth going, he'll be like, wait a second, like I want that. Like that's my net. Like, I want that
Yeah.
back, like type of thing. And I
Yeah.
think, I mean, and obviously the guys are not playing fabulous in front of him.
Yeah.
I'll give him that as well. However, we have a goalie for a reason at the same time.
Yes.
They got to be doing a little bit more sometimes than what they're giving us. And I think that's the situation he's in right now.
Yeah. I was listening to All Goals No Misses. Is that Lauren and Grace's podcast? I was listening to them earlier today, and one of them made a really good point of like it's potentially that they're playing a little bit looser in front of Sway.
Yes.
Because like they trust him more.
Mm-hmm.
Or like they know he's going to make these crazy saves, so they play a little bit looser, which is a perspective that I personally hadn't like considered before. And Lauren is going to always be the biggest goalie defender, and rightfully so. I think sometimes we need her, like in Bruin hockey to like check us sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think that was a really great point as well that she made on their podcast, was like it is the defense and it is the team, and you do see them play differently, and maybe it is because they just like inherently trust him more because he's been around longer. They know what he can do, but that doesn't like it just
it's not fair. Like it's not fair that you know, there's like they got to just make it consistent. The guys in front of them need to.
Yeah.
I wish I could just tell them like, hey, just play in front of these goalies as if they're like a 7-year-old or something, you know? That because I think we have to simplify their game that much right now. Like, because they're still trying to get like a little too cute at times, I think. And I'm like, you guys have no background, no space to be trying to do all these little fancy.
Or like waiting for the perfect moment. Like the perfect shot is not coming, friends. Just take the damn shot. Shoot the damn puck.
Especially
I was that girl on Saturday that screamed that in TD Garden, and I don't even care.
No, be proud.
I was annoyed.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the way you have to be. You got to be annoying at these games, you know? I definitely was annoying on Saturday myself for other reasons, but
you guys, we'll switch gears here. So, we'll chat about the games here in a second, but Liv and I are both so I don't live in Boston. I live in Florida. My husband and I were up in Boston for the weekend. Went to the game on Saturday. Liv ended up also being at the game on Saturday. So we met up really quick after the game. But also during the game, we're like sitting like across the arena from each other. And Freddie scores the only 2 goals that we get that day. And if you're not aware, that is Liv's favorite player. And so I am sitting next to my husband, and he like kind of knows who Liv is. And I'm like, she's shitting her pants. She has to be shitting her pants on the opposite side of the arena. Like, just look for somebody up and down screaming their head off. That's Liv. I can guarantee you she is over there somewhere, because she sent me a picture and was like, you're behind the Jumbotron from me. I was like, I was like, she's over there somewhere. She's going to be jumping up and down, going bananas.
Yes.
And my husband was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's real.
My friends literally like texted my mom. Like, I'll shout out my friend Jill also, because she gave me her lovely seats for Saturday. So thank you, Jill. But they texted my mom and was like, can we get like a proof of like Liv being alive? And so my mom, sent them a picture that I was not even paying attention in, because the helmet shuffle was about to start. So I had to like walk in to the helmet shuffle just in case one day they picked me to win the prize. I get a lock in on that because I love a good helmet shuffle. But it was a good day, and I really thought he was going to get the hat trick this time. But now
I kept saying Freddie hat trick, and the guy in front of me must have been so annoyed with me, because I kept being like, Freddie Hattie, just wait, like Freddie Hattie.
I was like,
girl, hashtag Fredward.
that is my friend Jill, who is her.
Jill, we greatly appreciate you, because that also gave us an opportunity to say hi to each other.
It was like perfect. We'll take the loss, I guess, for all the positives that came out of it. But yeah.
Well, let's talk about the 4 games that we've had, because with those, we've also had a lot of roster movement this week.
Yeah.
We've had some good, we've had some bad, we've had some chaos. What was really funny was, so Tuesday, we're at St. Louis. We recorded our last episode Monday night. Some of y'all were here with us. It was great. We trash talked. Not really, but kind of.
Lightly.
Yes. Kindly talked about how disappointed we are about McAvoy, Geeky, Pasta, Sway. We were upset about Potsy.
Yep.
There was somebody else. I don't remember. But the next night we play in St. Louis. And you want to know what? We won. We won. 3-2. And you want to know who scored? Geeky, McAvoy, and Pasta. Are we magic? Maybe, probably not.
I think just like maybe a little.
Really strange coincidence, though. We're claiming it.
Yeah.
But I think that night we looked. Good. That was also the night we came back in the third period.
Right.
Whoa. Realization. Did you see that happen? So we're down 0-2 as the third starts. We come back in the third to win 3-2. And I feel like that third, like you saw a shift. Whatever happened in the locker room in that intermission, they came out a different team for the third last
Right.
Tuesday in St. Louis.
I'd love to know what that's my mom. Yeah, I guess we did. So I guess we should do it. We need to do it more with other people, but yeah, we looked. I don't know what
the entire team tonight.
Yeah, like we'll just start going down the roster now. Actually, let's start with Elias Lindholm. No, I'm kidding. But
okay. Yeah.
I want to know what happened in the locker room before that third period because it was good. Like we need more of whatever the heck went on. Like I don't know. Everything is so a little bit like inconsistent. Like
Yeah.
you think they start to look better and then you're like, oh wow, they look actually worse than they did a couple games ago. And you're like, how is this happening? Like,
well, and I think like some things that I jotted down. We only had 6 minutes in penalties that night, which I feel like is on the lower end for us lately. So I feel like that worked in our advantage because our penalty kill is not always consistent or the best. We had 30 shots on goal that night, which is on the higher end for us. But even with all that, we had 18 giveaways still. Like, we have to get that under control. And that's something that's consistent through a lot of the games lately is just our giveaways are high. Like, that's crazy.
And, like, people want to call, like, Pasta, like, the king of, like, giveaways and whatever. And sure, he has, like, his fair share. But lately it seems like everyone's taking their turns doing that on a regular basis. And it's like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know what's happening to their sticks, to the, like, tape. Something
Whoever
is
not doing their pregame routine needs to do it.
Yeah, we need to get back on that because it's just not flowing. Nothing's working.
No. Well, and we thought there was going to be great momentum. We thought like the locker room in like the post-game interviews all seemed great. We thought there was going to be great momentum going into Dallas. We call up, which game was the one that Lindholm got injured in? Was that St. Louis or was that? Yeah, that was St. Louis.
Yeah, I think so.
And we called up Jordan Ostrel.
I think it's
somebody correct me. I know that's wrong.
We'll just call him Ostrich. No, I'm kidding.
that defense guy and Patrick Brown. Which the Bruins fandom is always divided on Patrick Brown. There is never going to be a day where we all agree. Yes. I personally am a fan of Brownie.
I'm a little bit indifferent to him,
Yeah. He didn't really do much for us that night, but I mean, he also got sent down right after that game. So,
can't blame him for much.
So we call up Jordan Ostrel and Patrick Brown for the Dallas game. Hampus had gotten injured in St. Louis. He didn't go on injured reserve until Saturday, but we knew it was going to be a really bad injury. Yeah. We call them up and we expect that we're going to have really great momentum. We bring these 2 guys up from Providence. Everybody thinks the game is going to be great. It wasn't. Shocker. At the end of the first, we were just not looking great. We're just not looking great. We were down 2-1. Coyle had scored. Feeling great.
Good for him. Yep.
Yes. But nothing happened in the second. And then in the third, Pasta brought us like a goal to bring us to 6-2. And then they ended up getting another goal after that. So Dallas was on fire.
Per usual, I feel like.
We were not. And it just sucks. It sucks to talk about it again. It sucks to I understand that this is what I'm doing, but it just sucks. We had 25 shots on goal that night. Dallas had 38. We had 19 penalty minutes.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not a contributing factor to them winning 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I didn't look up is how many of those were on their power play.
And 5 of them will be, because that's when Zadorov fought Ben as well, right?
Yeah.
So we can like remove 5, I guess, because that was like actually a good time that he took a penalty.
Yeah.
Like, I'll accept that.
Of course, my computer doesn't want to like cooperate at all. That's fine. That's cool. Okay. But that game was just terrible.
Yeah.
Like all around. That just I don't know.
Hard to watch. They've all been hard to watch, but like some more so.
And especially against the Stars, I feel like last year, and even no, we lost against them earlier in this year too, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So like, we're just gonna lose to everybody. That's fine.
Even Columbus.
Even Columbus. Even Columbus.
That's like really. When do we play Anaheim? We haven't played them yet, right?
No, not yet.
Because I feel like that's I don't know why I always pick on Anaheim, because I'm like, that's just a true. Although they're not actually, I'm looking at the standings. They're 26 right now, so I guess it's not that bad.
Oh, none of those goals were power play goals.
Really?
That's insane.
So we really just
sucked.
Yeah. Which, again, we'll say, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I was going to say if you put Corby, no. However, last night, I would have switched to them. Like, honestly. I wanted to see Corby.
Well, let's go Saturday first. So Saturday, Corby was in net.
Yep.
We lost in overtime. We ended the first up 2-1. They scored in the third, and then I blame it on the guy that was sitting behind me, though, because the guy behind me jinxed us. I swear. He was like, oh, we're going to be fine. We're going to win. It's totally done. We're good. And then they scored, and he was like, it's fine. We'll score, and we'll just be done for the night. So I blame it on the guy that was sitting behind me, who also, like, was really funny when – so we're 2-2. There's maybe, like, 5 minutes left. And the section next to us tries to start the wave.
Oh, my God.
Dude behind us gets so pissed. He starts screaming at these people. He's like, we are 2-2. You should not be starting the wave right now. My husband and I are dying laughing. It was great. Anyway, if you're watching this, you're never going to see this.
That's my biggest pet peeve,
if you're watching this, shout out to you, because then security also came up to him because I guess somebody complained about him yelling at everybody, and he may or may not have dropped an F-bomb, and they were like, we have you on camera saying F off to like an entire large crowd of people, but I still blame him. Right. But I thought, like, I blame him. We also had roster moves for this game. So Patrick Brown had been sent down. Tufty came up. Merkelov came up. I'm never going to say that one right either. Merk came up.
Yep, Merk.
And you and I talked last week about Tufty. I think Tufty has been great in Providence. It doesn't translate when he's up in Boston, though.
No. At all.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think
and then Mark was actually an assist on Freddie's first goal, so it's technically his first NHL point.
Claps for that. I was happy how that worked out, actually, so they didn't have to, fight over the puck there or anything, because Mark had the first, and then, Freddie can have the second one.
And I just we'll go there in a second.
Yeah,
I'll keep that brain for a second. But I feel like they looked better on Saturday. We still saw some turnover. Also to note is our shots on goal. We had 18 shots on goal for that entire game.
Yeah.
St. Louis had 31. Like, we got real lucky. That
We did.
we still lost. We lost in overtime. But
I'll take the loser point.
Yeah.
At this point.
And then let's talk about last night. So last night, Tufty got sent back down. We called up VL.
Jeffrey.
That was a waste of a player.
Yeah.
We were down 0-3 at the end of the first. We got 1 goal in the second.
Is that it? We only got
Coyle.
1. Yeah.
And then the Blue Jackets continued to score. After that, we lost 5-1. Hashtag comeback JVR, because he was one of those 5 goals.
Yeah. And he's also a veteran. And we need any of those. I'm still mad that we don't have Maroon still.
That is my, well, I'll go there in a second too. But
yeah.
I want him back.
Yeah, right.
But we were evenly matched almost in shots on goal, 28 them, 29 us. We had 11 penalty minutes, 7 of them
were from him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
that was a waste of a roster spot.
It was, because you could easily have, like, I could probably name on one hand, which doesn't sound that great, but like I could name on one hand the guys that you could have just said the same thing to. Like, go be tough, go, go off your leash. So
and I think it's clear why he got brought up. Like, he was definitely brought up as a guy who's going to start fights. The first fight was so fake it almost hurt. Like,
I was like,
it was definitely set and planned.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything.
No. Because what was it at that point? Like 1-0 or something? Or was it still 0-0? I don't even know. But it was way too soon.
It was either one, because they scored early too.
Yeah.
But it was within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Which.
And like, it's not like Coyle is going and fighting. Or it's not like Marchie's going and getting in a fight. Listen, if Marchie's going and getting in a fight, sign me the F up. I'm going to sit there and watch. But there's this random kid that I have no idea who he is. I'm so sorry if he ever sees this. I appreciate you. You're great. You're a professional hockey player. I work for a nonprofit organization and have a cool podcast. I got nothing.
I'm sitting here.
Fully aware of my role in life. You're great.
Yeah.
But you have this random kid come up from Providence to fight. His first fight just doesn't do anything. Then he gets in a second fight, which still doesn't do anything, all within the first period. And I don't know if Sweeney was like, yes, this is going to ramp up our guys. Like, da-da-da-da-da. Nobody knows who this kid is. Nobody cares. It's different if it's one of the guys that they've been in the trenches with and they're like, yes, I'm going to go fight. If it's Mason, I'm going to go fight for Mason. I'm gonna have his back. We see it from everybody all the time that if one of their guys goes, they're going to, or if one of their guys gets decked, like Coyle? Carlo? Who'd that happen to? Carlo. Happened to Carlo in Dallas?
Yeah, and then Zadorov came in pretty quick.
He was ready.
Yeah.
Like, that is a situation that's going to amp these guys up. Not some random kid that got called up from Providence that morning specifically to fight that nobody cares about.
He had I pulled up the times from the game last night, and he had 8 minutes and 29 seconds like time on ice, and then he had 7 penalty minutes. Like, so 8 minutes.
And here's why I say that's a waste. Like, we could have called somebody up that's a scorer, that's going to give us some defense, some actual defense, that can do some time on the ice with that third, fourth line, like, as a wing, that's going to give us some score shots. Or give us somebody on defense that's really going to help block these shots, especially considering the score was 5-1. Give us somebody who's actually going to make some moves. We don't need somebody who's going to fight right now. I need somebody that's going to play, that's going to help prevent turnovers, that's going to make some action, that's really going to understand that, like, where our gap is
Right.
and fill that gap. Like, as much as I don't think Tufte really performs when he's up in Boston, same with Max Jones. I don't think he really performs when he's in Boston.
Yeah.
But you can see down in Providence that they're taking the opportunity to be traded down to Providence. They're taking that and they are really using that to fuel themselves, to work on those skills, to get that ice time. They both have some like incredible stats since they went down.
Yeah.
You can see them fighting for it, right? We're not bringing up Lysell. I don't know why, but I think he would also be a great asset. Even Patrick Brown, whatever, if we're divided on him. But like, he at least gets the Boston game because he's been on our team for a few years, however many years at this point.
Yeah.
Like, he's played in and out with these guys enough that he knows Boston hockey. I don't need to train somebody ground up right now. I need somebody that's going to jump in and actually be an asset to this team and fill those gaps that we're missing. There's a lot of them.
You know, I think one guy that's like really, I said this to you, I think last night too, is Mark McLaughlin. Like he has scored the last 5 games in Providence. Yeah. I want to say he's gotten into like a few fights here and there. Like, again, not that that's like our main concern right now, but if it comes up, it comes up. He can hold his own. But, and he's, I feel as if he got called up, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, he's been in our system for a while as well now, too.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he hasn't been called up again and I do wonder about Lysell, and I'm almost curious if it's because I feel like he gets injured a lot. Like, and I'm not sure if he's battling like a reoccurring or something of the sort. But yeah, and people, I saw a tweet where I forget who it was, but they're concerned that the same thing is going to happen to like Maddie P.
Yeah.
Getting like not ignored, but like there's no real like oomph to like get Lysell up here. And that can't happen to Maddie P also, because then it's like we have to get more youth up in here. Like up
for sure. Well, especially these guys that have been in Providence forever that are performing well.
Yeah.
And they're not performing, like when they get called up, it's not like they're doing bad. They're just kind of like in the middle ground. So when they get sent back down, as opposed to like keep them for a few games, like Maddie, like keep them up for a few games.
Right.
Actually, like take the time, God forbid, we take the time to invest in our own players. But I just pulled up Mark McLaughlin.
Yep.
He has been with us since 2021. Okay. So that was his last year at BC. Came over when the season was done with BC, played 11 games with the Bruins, with Boston Bruins, one with Providence that year. And then has been up and down a few times. He played 2 games with Boston in 22-23. 1 game last year, and the rest of the time he's been with Providence. So, I mean, 4 years in our system, 5 games, 5 goals in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
My brain stopped for a second. And we bring up a fighter.
Yeah. And also to Mark McLaughlin too, he like does well every time he comes up. I want to say the first game he played, he scored. I'm like pretty sure. Yeah. Back in, what did you say, like 2021? Like I'm pretty sure his NHL debut, he got a goal. I could be wrong on that. So someone like fact check me, but
so for those 11 games, he has 3 goals.
Yeah.
For 22-23, he came up for 2 games, didn't have any. 23-24 came up 1 game, had 1 goal. So he scored his 1 game that he was up last year. He's played 15 games so far this year, has 5 goals, 5 assists.
And he's not even that young either, in the sense that, because there's a divide, I think, in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
do we want to go younger or do we need more veteran, voices and everything, which I agree we do. But also having a group of older guys is really not gonna make this team
Yeah.
go on in the in the years. We
Well,
can't
and I
just have
think it's like having the right veterans in the room.
exactly, yeah.
Like let's talk Pat Maroon real quick because
Right.
this is like what I have for later, but let's go there now is like if I could have one player back either retired or currently playing,
Yeah.
he's my player.
Yep.
Like, listen, realistically, I would also bring back Chara and Bergie because I think they need that kind
Me
of
too.
leadership.
Yeah.
But if I could have one player back right now, it's Maroon. Like, that guy walked into the locker room last year, immediately bought into the Bruins, immediately took
Yeah.
our younger players under his wing and was like, let's go. Let's figure this out together. And like continually said to the media, I want to mentor these younger players. Kept saying how much he loved being in Boston and loved like our organization, which I'm sure any player like says that's part of their media training. But I think he was a really great asset in the locker room.
He wanted to stay here. I truly do believe like he did want to stay and help out. And also when we were losing those games in the playoffs last year, they literally stuck that man in front of the media and he had been with us since what? The middle of March or something. And then they just shoved him in front of the media and he took it and he's answered very well.
Yeah. He's the only one that went into media right after Marchie had gotten injured.
Yeah.
He is the only player from our team that spoke, which I don't know if that was elective or not, but.
Right. I think that says a lot. And I just think it wasn't fair for them to get him when they did. They knew he had just had a back surgery. They knew he was going to still be in recovery when they got him, so he didn't even start playing right away. But why not give him even just a lower money 1-year deal? Because I also feel like he's the type that would take, I don't know the word they say, but like some type of name for a nice friendly deal to kind of lessen the cap money just because they like the organization and they like the team and the players and all that jazz. But yeah, I would really like him back, or even Shattenkirk, because where is he? He's nowhere.
Yeah,
he's a great
he was one that I was really shocked didn't get a contract this year.
Right, he didn't land anywhere.
No. Yeah. I follow him and his wife on Instagram still, though. They look like they're having a really great time in New York City, living their lives.
Just having family time. But come back.
I would love to have him back.
Yeah, I would take him back too.
Or Tyler Seguin. I know he will never come back to Boston, but I want him to so bad. Yeah. He just delivers on goals. Like, I didn't look it up. I should have come prepared. I was prepared for Maroon, but now I'm sitting here like I miss Sagan. One moment.
Me and Sagan have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah, I love telling people that.
That's fun. I love that. He scored on us. Not this last game, but the game before, and I was really sad.
I swear he loves to.
I think
he makes it his mission.
Listen, he has played 13 games so far this year. He has 15 points. Damn. Last year, 68 games, 52 points. 50 points the year before. 49 points the year before.
Yeah.
50 the year before. 80 the year before. 78, 72, 73, 77, 84.
And he's also going through injuries.
Give me this man on our team.
That'd be funny, huh? Getting him back, like a little full circle moment.
I know we never will, but I just...
We can hope. We can hope that he can.
He just delivers.
Because who... Oh, no, I was thinking of... People used to compare him to Joe Thornton, because, they traded Joe Thornton, far too early when he was in his prime, and then he obviously became the player he became, and he could have been ours, but wasn't. But
We have a really great history of
trading talent.
or getting rid of award-winning coaches, and then
Oh,
they go
yeah.
on to win Stanley Cups elsewhere.
Yeah, where do we think Jim's gonna land? So where do we think the Cup's gonna win next year? Yeah, that's what we have to think of, because
He's such a different style from the Sharks, but I would love to see him with the Sharks, mostly because I would love to see Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith
with him,
with like a tenured, award-winning coach like Monty, who just like, I feel like they would do well with his playing style.
I agree. I think he does well with younger kids who are, because the one thing about Monty, and I think a lot of people said this before he got fired, was that he's almost too nice at sometimes. Like, obviously we've seen some of his moments on the bench, but there wasn't enough of that. Like, there were times where you would expect a coach to like freak out, and you almost would want a coach to freak out, and he just like didn't. So I believe it's a positive for him as well, in the sense that him with the younger guys who not only have to adjust to the speed and the toughness of the NHL, but also just the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really good and just like there for people.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I could see him being good with San Jose, or just somewhere younger. Like,
yeah. I just think like Celebrini and Smith too are like quieter guys. I mean, their TikToks are really funny, but like as players, they're not like crazy rambunctious players, which I feel like Monty would do really well with them and molding them.
Yeah. I wonder where he'll end up. I wonder how quick he'll go. Like, how quick he'll get picked up.
I'm so shocked that he's the first one to go this year.
I know. I thought they were gonna, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the first like trade to happen. I'm waiting for a trade.
We had like what, 17 scouts or something at our game last night?
Mm-hmm.
And then we sucked.
Well,
we're not getting any trades anytime soon.
I was like excited that Freddie was playing well yesterday, and then I was like, no, don't play well. I was like, there's scouts here. Play bad, please.
Yes.
I don't want you.
That's funny. For everybody who's watching, feel free to drop like where you think Monty will end up and who you think our next head coach is going to be.
Because obviously,
I truly don't think
he's not.
Sacco is it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the answer is though.
I don't either.
I have a pipe dream, but I know it's not going to happen.
What's your dream coach?
Honestly, I would love for Patrice Bergeron.
Okay. Yeah.
To suit up.
Yeah. I know.
But this is such a pipe dream, and I'm fully aware it's never going to happen.
I feel like it might. It's not like, I definitely don't think it's a never. I just think he for sure would be the type that would coach like later on.
Yeah.
I think
when he said when they were up in Quebec City, he was like, I'm not like, but like potentially if a team was brought back to Quebec City, he wouldn't necessarily like be the first to go there because he's really bought into the Bruins.
Yeah.
And he really wants to like support the Boston community and Bruins hockey. So that's kind of why I'm like,
he can fix us right now. No.
I would love it. And he's just like, listening to his commentary last night when they had the alternate, whatever it's called. Words are hard right now, y'all. But he just is so knowledgeable. He also knows these players really well.
Yeah.
He knows Boston hockey really well. His entire career was in Boston. Like, I think he would be so great for us, but I also know it's probably not going to happen.
I give it like 5 years. We'll get through this next head coach and then
somebody drop in the comments who you think the next head coach is going to be, because I have nothing. I also have no expectations now.
Right. That's kind of a positive. It can't, I just keep telling myself it can't get worse. Where it can, but realistically it just means losing more. And to me, that's that already is the worst that we're at right now. So whatever. If we're going to just keep losing, so be it.
Yeah. Well, let's chat just overall where the team is at as we head into the next week of games. So we're 8-9-3.
Let me bring up our schedule, actually. I need to see what our...
I know we were at Utah. No. Utah is in Boston tomorrow.
Yeah, and then...
I'll go on a traveling stint for the next 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure.
I was going to say, it looks back and forth. Oh my gosh. Tuesday, we play at home. Shout out Derek Forbert, Danton Heinen, and Jake DeBrusk returning home on Tuesday, the 26th.
We miss you. Come back.
Yeah, literally any of you come back. So they played home Tuesday night, and then they're going to travel to New York, play in New York literally the next night. And then, randomly, on Black Friday, we have a 6:30 start against the Penguins. So that's going to be a mid-off for sure. Because that's the thing. Why didn't we just swap captains? Hey. Let me watch myself. I don't want Sidney Crosby. What if we just swapped coaches? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Someone edit that out.
That would be I think it'd be so funny for many reasons.
That'd be hysterical. And then how funny would that be? That it'd have to be allowed, because if we had... What is his first name? Why can't I think of Sullivan's first name?
Mike?
No. Yeah, you're right. That's his father, Charlie McAvoy's father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
Come on, guys. That'd be hysterical.
I would love just one game. Just give me one game. That's all I want. I imagine they all have family dinner together, either Friday or maybe they're doing Thanksgiving together.
Yeah.
So fun.
Even though I'm pretty sure, actually, now that I said that, I'm pretty sure Mike Sullivan coached the Bruins.
Honestly saw that multiple times on Twitter today. People suggesting that he come coach the Bruins. Yeah.
Okay, so he was our head coach in 2003. Okay, I was 2. No wonder I don't remember that. I was like, I think...
I was in 2nd grade.
Okay, yeah.
3rd grade. Something like that.
And he's, I think Sacco's biggest selling point for Don is that he's from Massachusetts, because I don't know what Don has about loving people that are from Massachusetts and having to have them on our team. But Mike Sullivan is also from Massachusetts, so you know what? There you go. Good enough selling point for Joe. So I'm so curious how... I wish the game was tomorrow, just because I hate having to wait another day to see what the heck they're going to look like.
I am very interested to see what happens with media tomorrow after practice.
Yes. What time is that at, do we think? Noon?
I think 11. Either practice was at 11 or media is at 11 tomorrow. Because I'm going to be on a work call and I'm like...
Oh. Yeah.
I'm not happy. It's fine.
You're going to need to have 2 screens going. You're like, sorry guys, just one second.
I have a second monitor. I'm like...
Oh, wonderful. You're going to have to.
Yeah. But yeah, Utah, Detroit, Vancouver, Islanders, Pittsburgh.
There were some games
we got an interesting schedule coming up.
There's just so, if this was us last year, I'd be like, oh, we're going to beat literally all of these teams this next week. But guess what? We're probably not.
You know what I hate? We play Columbus in Columbus on the 27th, and then we play them at home on the 28th.
I hate that on a schedule. We had that last year with Detroit. I'm pretty sure. I think we played in Detroit on like, I don't want to butcher dates, but I'm pretty sure. And it's like, why have them do that?
And they're both 7:00 games.
Right. It just doesn't. And yeah, I guess it's fair because both teams are going to experience that, but also just why even do that to them? Like, that's just whoever makes the schedules.
I hate it.
It's very weird. I feel like we could avoid that easily.
Very,
Yeah. Yeah.
very strange. Well, hopefully this week looks better. Right now,
Cross our
8-9-3. Not looking good. 3rd in the Atlantic, 7th in Eastern, 18th overall.
Not great. Haven't hit 20 points yet.
Yeah. This was one thing I wrote. 233 penalty minutes.
Wow. That's a lot of penalties. That's a lot of penalties. And I mean, I know everyone's going to be like, yeah, no duh, we know this. But just like when you hear it, you're like, wow.
Yeah. We also have Hampus on IR.
Yeah, not good.
It is potentially weeks before he's back.
Thankfully, Peak is back.
Mark Kaslick is day-to-day. He's expected to play Thursday from what we've heard with rumors.
Hopefully, because he's really been one of our better guys for sure.
Yeah.
This year.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
What is your predictions for we'll probably stream Monday. So I guess just Utah and Detroit between now and next week. What are your predictions for Utah and Detroit?
Honestly, I want to say because we lost to Utah last time, right? Or did we win when we played in Utah? Because I think that will affect my answer.
We lost 2-1 in overtime.
Okay. I'm going to be bold here, and I'm going to just hope that the slight coaching change does anything.
Yeah.
And they're trying to turn a page. They'll come out playing really well because it's not like they haven't had some good games. Granted, I don't think they've had a full 60-minute great game.
Yeah.
But they've had some games that majority of the game has been Bruins hockey to a degree. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Thursday we're going to be like, oh my gosh, we're fixed. We're healed. That boom.
Yeah.
So I think we'll win. I think it'll be close, though. I think it'll be – I'm going to go low here, and I'm going to say we'll win 2-1. That's all I'm going to give them because I still don't have hope in their goal-scoring abilities that much. But
yep.
And then I think, ironically, I think we'll get shut out by Detroit because we shouldn't lose to Detroit. But that's why it's going to happen. That's what I think.
No, yeah. I'm with you on both of those. I think Utah is also going to be really close, but we're going to win. I think Detroit, we're going to get wiped because we can't have 2 good games in a row.
No, and it's going to be embarrassing again.
Yeah. I think here's what I would like to see, but I know it's not going to happen, is I would really also like to see Corpy get both games, not to punish Sway.
Right.
But I think Sway needs a mental break.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is something that we just know about Sway is he's really competitive. I think he also plays a really big mental game. Yeah. And he has like this really big philosophy around his mental game. So I think like he just needs a few days to sort it out. Like you can tell, I think I posted this last night, like his post-game interview last night, I don't think I have ever seen him look so defeated in a post-game interview. Like he if they lose, you typically see him in an interview afterwards, and he still like looks like Sway, right? He might look sad or disappointed, but like he still got the swagger to him. There was no swagger in that post game last night. Like he just looked defeated, looked dejected. You can tell that this is really getting to him. I think potentially not having that like BFF like goalie partner, potentially, I'm not a professional, I don't know what I'm talking about, potentially like is also playing into this of like maybe, and he said it in the interview last night too, like he doesn't feel like he's as much in the room with those guys because he missed preseason and missed that like little bonding. And we said this last week too, put them all in a room, have a feeling circle and get it together. But I think like he just needs a few days to like reset his brain, do his routine, like just get back into it.
Yeah. I agree.
But like, and I don't think it's a punishment. I think it's like, we see that you're struggling, right? And I think this of like any professional human in the world. I know my supervisor would do this for me of like, I see that you are struggling. I need you to take a day off, to take a mental day and just sleep, nap, eat food, drink your water, get some Gatorade, do what you need to do to like mentally reset. I know my supervisor would tell me that even like in my tiny little nonprofit world. So it's like, I would hope as a professional athlete, somebody is also doing that for him.
And that it would almost be a little bit, I always say this, that I think the mental health and just the support almost has to be a little bit more for these guys because they have so much pressure, so much responsibility, while also at the same time trying to like be a certain way, not in a fake way that we would say, but just they're expected to be held at some view, at some, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know how else to say it, but
you like they have to be on all of the time. And we see this with Marchie sometimes of like it's routine that he typically takes like a day or two a month as a maintenance day. And like we don't freak out about that. Like everybody just knows that's part of Marchie's routine. He takes like a maintenance day every once in a while, one for his body, but two, I think potentially for his brain too. And it's not uncommon that we see it with Marchie. I personally would like to see it with other players as well, just to be like, this season is grueling. Almost every other day, you are throwing your body to the wolves. And you have to be on mentally. And it's not just on the ice that these guys have to be on. Like they still have practice every single day. And I think that's for any professional athlete. Like mentally, that is tough. That is insane. I'm just here in my nonprofit world, like, oh, I can't wait for Christmas because I just had a 5-day vacation. I'm first day back off my vacation. I'm like, okay, when's Christmas? I mentally already need that. I can't imagine doing this for 10, 8, 9 months, multiple months of having to constantly be on with 1 week.
With 0 time off. Yeah.
So I would love to see Corpy in net and see Sway get a break. I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, probably not.
I think it would benefit him. I think it would benefit the team.
Yeah.
And then I think they all need a day together. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it until they start gelling. They all need to get together in a little room and have a little feeling circle.
Maybe even a spa day. Let them all go get some team massages, maybe a little sauna after.
Go play some game. Go play some mini golf. Well, it's cold in Boston. Go play some bowling. Go bowling together.
Yeah, go bowling.
Go do something fun and mindless and silly together.
Laser tag.
Ooh.
Get them on teams for laser tag.
Hey, Bruins, go play some laser tag.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. The Bruins are going to play laser tag.
You have to go
Trace Bergeron is the next head coach, and the Bruins are going to play laser tag. You heard it here first.
They're having a weekly laser tag session.
That'd be so fun. But I can totally see that group of like younger guys that's been doing all the TikToks. I can totally see that group.
They'd love it.
Going and playing laser tag together.
For sure. They'd take it so serious.
For sure. And like I can see Marchie and Pasta like sprinting and like
it darting around corners. Yeah.
Aline, make sure you get lots of videos for us.
Yes.
Anything else before we wrap up the night?
We're good. I think we're good, and whatever's come next week.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think Liv and I are going to try to do like Monday, Tuesday-ish recordings. The one thing we agree on is we don't want to record when there's a game. So there will be like a little fluidity in our schedule moving forward. So stay tuned to our Twitter for that information. Yes. But I think it'll be probably like Monday, Tuesdays that we record, and then just kind of depends on the
game schedule. Yeah.
Other than that, Liv, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Front Frederick.
I love it. Listen to last week's episode for how that came about. You can find me whatever social media platform you want at HyperEmi. Yep. If you want my intrusive hockey thoughts, they will be on Twitter though. Yes. I downloaded Blue Sky, but like
I've yet to
post on a different app is just a lot of work.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be hopping onto Blue Sky. I don't I got Threads for like a week and then I deleted it. So
I have Threads, but I use Threads more for book stuff.
Okay, yeah. I could see that though. That's like a good little separate.
There's a lot of indie authors on there.
Yeah.
You can find the podcast on Twitter at Causeway Chirps. Chirping on Causeway is brought to you by Boston Sports Entertainment Network. You can find them on Twitter, BSEN_617. If you want cool shirts, this is one of our sweatshirts. I wore our shirt last week, BSEN617.square.site. We got stuff available on there.
I've got to get some. I'm slacking on that end. I'll be in merch.
It's so comfy.
It does look really comfy.
It's also, I think this one's.
I like that saying too.
But I'm like, I like oversized stuff. So
I get everything huge. I want to be drowning in my sweatshirts and my shirts.
Like, if you can see my hands, it's not big enough. I say it so I can share it with Austin, but it's not really so I can share it with Austin.
Right.
But also, like, my vent is right here, so I'm always cold. So I always have sweatshirts on at work. So right from home. Other than that, let's go Bruins. We'll see you next week.
Bruins. See ya.